The modern work experience placements for me has worked better for quite a number of reasons. In the past, I've had students being given to me and I've spent a whole week with a work experience student in work, but to fit that into my role at work and my workload, it's quite difficult because we've got to think about risk assessments and health and safety. And what tends to happen is we get a lot of students that are just stood around shadowing, and it's got to be boring. I think the biggest skill they learn in a week-long placement is just standing and watching and paying attention in that situation. So this modern work placement I think is better because it's more focused. You can have pre-arranged activities and have all your health and safety and your risk assessments in place, and I just think they get so much more out of it rather than being stood around watching your existing workload, and take away the stress as well of having to accommodate this extra person in what you're doing on a day-to-day basis.
I think next year, I do think it works well. I think the model of going into schools beforehand, I mean, it wasn't me that went in, it was Kadisha and Gemma, but I think the kids got a lot from the activity they did, and they seem to be able to talk about it quite well, and it's a really good opportunity for them.
I think the modern work experience is really good for the students because it gives them an opportunity to do stuff together. So I think they're so much more confident when they're with their own peer group. So they're within a class that they recognise, and then even outside in a task like today, they're with a whole group of other students. So they get to network with us and they get to network with each other. And I think that that's really helpful.
Yeah, it's been good for me to see other companies working in the same industry but as a parent as well, if I was sending my child to work experience, I think the knowledge that they're seeing a few different companies and it doesn't all hang on the one company I've sent them to. They're getting a range of experience from different places. It's about the industry and their experience in the industry rather than one particular company.
And that's actually how people's careers in this industry do work. You don't always work for one company forever. They do move around different companies, and that ability to network, to hear about how different companies work, I think is really, really helpful to kind of understand what all the companies are, what your options are, what's available to you. I think it's a really helpful perspective. And from our perspective, being able to meet with lots of different schools. So we were paired with one school originally, got to know them really well, and actually I think the relationship we developed with pupils over the time has been really good. But we've also had the chance to interact with pupils from lots of different schools in the area, which can only be a good thing in terms of our own networking and understanding different schools and meeting different teachers and getting to know what their needs are and helping to meet them going forward. I think the other thing we were saying, because I was asked that earlier about the collaboration aspect, and they said we could do it on our own without you guys. And whilst that is technically true, I don't know if that's necessarily practically would happen, only because having a central organisation there allows the collaboration to happen a bit easier, because with our businesses, although we're not in competition directly, some of us are, and I think it does mean that you can collaborate in a space that's, you understand what the remit is, and everyone in the company feels comfortable with that collaboration. So I think having the pledge involved has been, I would say, really crucial in getting it organised, because otherwise it's very hard to know who takes the lead and who does what, and I think actually having a central body organise it is really good. I do think the collaboration has been great, and I think for the young people to have the opportunity to meet so many different professionals, to have so many different companies, I think it's really, really valuable.
Yeah, I like the whole concept of how it works, the carousel, because we all get to see give other people opportunities and open them up to apprenticeships or going to university and the different types of things we do. So
it's so important that businesses get involved in work experience because it's an opportunity to inform and shape our future. We need these young people. They are the future talent, and they need to understand the career paths and opportunities that are available to them. They also need to understand that the world is full of good people who want to help them in all of that, and to build confidence and curiosity. And in the story that I've just shared in closing out today's event, to understand the opportunities that come when you do step out of your comfort zone and you stick your hand up and put yourself in a new situation. Brilliant things can follow as a result.